Another new Star Trek series by Alex Kurtzman aimed at a modern youth demographic. This is surely what will save the brand this time. It seems like these guys just keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And I noticed a little something that this is happening with every single franchise. And it's beyond wokeness at this point. Yes, of course, wokeness is going to be a part of it. Feminism is going to be a part of it, which is going to be an eye-rolling thing. But there's a basic flaw in what Star Trek's doing, what Star Wars is doing, Doctor Who is doing, Marvel is doing, that is this same mistake repeated over and over again that's destroying all these franchises. We'll get into this in a moment. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here as we talk about all things Star Trek and science fiction. Guys, if you are missing that feel from Star Trek that it used to have when it was Deep Space Nine, when it was Voyager, when it was The Next Generation, I have been building that in a science fiction universe for a long, long time. I'm a science fiction writer by trade, and I focus on science fiction. And so that's going to be what this theme of this video is. And if you crave that, please grab this in the description below. It's called The Stars Entwined. My universe starts here. There's a 3-book trilogy right now, and I'm building another one that's actually a full exploration series out of this that's going to feel a lot like that stuff you got from Next Generation back in the day. So check this out. Support our channel. Support independent IPs, because this is the way of the future. These corporate IPs, obviously, they don't even care about you guys. They don't even want you as fans anymore. But I do, and I love that you're here. I appreciate it. Check it out, guys, in the description below. I am here to cater towards you. And make sure to sign up for my newsletter, too, so you don't miss my future releases, because what I'm doing right now is so good. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to get these books out to you. Thank you so much, guys. I'll put this in the description below, as I said. And yes, it's available on ebook, print, and audio for your convenience. So yes, we have a new series from Star Trek, and they're doing the same thing again, trying to appeal to that youth demographic again. And we know exactly what's going to happen with this. It's going to be an abject failure. It's not going to work again. And this is what's happening. So this came from TrekCentral.com. And you can see they have discovered an unannounced Star Trek series in development. It's called Star Trek Starfleet Scouts. They really just don't have inspired titles these days either, do they? Appears to be a family-friendly project. Well, that's a good thing, because you got to get away from that Discovery and Lower Decks nonsense. You might be thinking of the Paramount Plus Star Trek Prodigy series, which was a franchise first for targeting a younger audience. Well, yes, they already tried that, right? However, this is a new Star Trek series, which seems to be a children's animated digital shorts that will air on YouTube for kids. Okay. What? And this is where they get into problems with Star Trek, and this is where every franchise is having problems right now. All of these franchises that have established audiences that do well, that are profitable, and Star Trek was obscenely profitable before they destroyed it, guys. These franchises have an established audience that wants something specific, which in this case is exploration science fiction with a sense of wonder attached to it, right? And they don't have that anymore. If you look at Discovery, I mean, Discovery was just a jumbled mess of progressive politics that were trying to be generic dark science fiction show. If you look at Strange New Worlds, the episodes are really just almost like parodies. It's really an odd thing that they're doing. If you look at Lower Decks is obviously Rick and Morty Star Trek. It's not even Star Trek. If you look at Starfleet Academy, it's like a youth romance college dormitory thing, which they've been trying to get going for decades. But none of them are Star Trek. None of them are what made Star Trek back in the day, and none of them feel like those series from the 90s that, of course, most of us have grown up for. I'm kind of ignoring the original series at this point. I know we got a lot of original series fans. I'm one of them. But for the most part, like the original series fan base is really elderly at this point, the ones that watched it originally. And so the ones that are like kind of in that like sweet spot right now where, we've got disposable income to get a streaming network and all that are the ones who grew up on these shows in the 90s. I mean, it really is what it is. And so if you just kind of did something like that, it would work out pretty well. And this is, I'll go back to Doctor Who on this. If you look at the Doctor Who reboot in 2005, that's what they did. They kept some of the elements from the old shows. You got Daleks, you've got Cybermen, you've got things like that. But they did their own storylines, and they made them fresh and new at the same time. They kind of made it a Next Generation sort of thing, continuing it on. But it maintained that continuity of Doctor Who, so it felt really, really good to old fans. And because they focused on good science fiction stories and focused on what the property was originally, it created a whole generation of new fans as well. Now, this new Doctor Who, for example, is every episode's a hodgepodge of something else, trying to attract that fan base to Doctor Who by doing that but Doctor Who. And that's not working. So, you started off with the Gatwa era. They literally copied Harry Potter in the new companion that was like the chosen one who was dropped off, and these goblins went to go take her and all that stuff. Yeah, they literally just put Harry Potter into Doctor Who, hoping they could get a Harry Potter audience. Then they did Bridgerton as an episode. Then they did Black Mirror as an episode. And this one they did Eurovision as an episode. But the thing is, like, the Eurovision fans are watching Eurovision. Black Mirror fans are watching Black Mirror. Harry Potter fans are probably not going to watch new Harry Potter. But those are fan bases of those things. They don't want that from Doctor Who. If you want to cultivate Doctor Who, you're going to get buzz by creating good science fiction that feels like science fiction, that feels like Doctor Who. Same thing with Star Trek. All you have to do is create a series right now that's a starship that takes place 30, 40, 50 years after Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Voyager. You can have cameos of those characters show. You can have Janeway show up in an episode or something like that. Just as a guest star for one of the episodes. And have it do its own thing, but have it feel like Star Trek and have it feel like it's progressing. That's all you have to do, and people would tune in for that. And if they did good science fiction, they hired good science fiction writers like me to do it, you would then have a great audience. But this obsession with these brands of, like, we have to make Star Trek not Star Trek because there's not a lot of people who like Star Trek. There's a lot of people who like teen romance. There's a lot of people who like Rick and Morty. We got to get those demographics. And so we're going to make Star Trek into that. Instead of doing your own creative vision, you're doing somebody else's vision that you're copying and doing a poor job of it, because when you try to shoehorn that into Star Trek, it makes it strictly worse. It's really just terrible writing on every single level, and this is without all the politics elements into it. It's really, really dumb. And like I said, Doctor Who's done it. Star Trek's done it. If you look at the MCU, they're saying there's superhero fatigue, but look at what Disney Plus is. Like, they tried to make a wine ant feminist witch show, with Agatha all along. They tried to make, a weird WandaVision thing that was not none of these were superhero shows. They were trying to port the superhero concept of the MCU into other genres to try to capture different audiences. When, again, the Marvel audience is so big, like, why would you even do that? It doesn't make sense. Just make your superhero show, make it simple, and everybody would love it. It's really crazy. But every single big franchise seems to have this mind, even Star Wars, right? You got the Star Wars for youths. You got the feminist Star Wars. You got the, like, super serious political drama Star Wars. Like, they're not just making Star Wars. They're making other shows as Star Wars in that universe as well. Like, all of these series are doing this, and that's why all the fans are tuning out, because it's exhausting when they refuse to give you what you want. They refuse to give you what these shows are supposed to be, and this is exactly another incident for this. Now, let's look at this. So they already tried Star Trek Prodigy, which was a Star Trek for kids, and it was fantastic, by the way. I thought it was great, but the whole concept of it made it so nobody tuned in, because Star Trek fans are not going to tune into a Star Trek for kids with some random aliens on a random starship. Now, what they did to make it a big thing for Star Trek fans was bring in Janeway and Chakotay and the Doctor as mainstay characters, like, continuing their deal. Well, at that point, the kids aren't there to watch the show either, because this is all references to some other show they've never watched, and 6-year-olds are not going to watch Star Trek Voyager. So that's not a thing. And so there's no audience for it at that point. You just got it at that point. And honestly, it's a great continuation of Voyager. If you like Voyager, this did Voyager better than Voyager. It really did. But there was no possible audience to come in for that sort of thing as an animated series. It just doesn't work. In Starfleet Scouts, it could continue that. Prodigy, I know they were continuing with them as like an academy sort of thing, and it was going to be happening. And so it could very much be that. But there's no audience for this kind of thing, and it's stupid. Kids on YouTube are not watching for Star Trek. Kids on YouTube are watching for Fortnite videos and things like that. And so trying to capture that with a 5-minute sort of short on YouTube is the most asinine, stupid idea. And it's a big waste of money, again, and it's not going to work. So, I mean, this is very, very simple. I can tell you this right now. I don't know why these executives go with this stuff. So it is filed at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. They have it right there. It's possible it could air on the Nick Jr. YouTube channel, which is again, Star Trek fans are not going to tune in there. It'll be like Disney Plus and Lucasfilm Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures, a bunch of shorts on that, and then they'll see if they order more on that. Based on casting information, the new animated series will focus on 3 8 to 9-year-old friends as they go to school on an Earth-like planet. Oh, joy. This will follow their adventures as they train to become future Starfleet explorers. This information seems like a step before Starfleet Academy. Cool, funny, heroic, and authentic. They love saying that. So, yeah, could this revive a dying franchise? No, absolutely not. And again, like, as much as Prodigy was good, there was no market for that. It was a stupid idea. They shouldn't have done it to begin with. It ended up being done very, very well, and, that's the end of that. So, very wild that they'd attempt to do this. They really if they want to bring back Star Trek, you just got to do exactly what I said at this juncture. You got to make a new show. You got to make it 30, 40 years after Star Trek Voyager, just like real life is. And it's going to work very, very well. And you continue it from there. You start a new storyline from there. Maintain continuity of the past. No more alternate crap or prequel crap. None of that stuff's going to work. It's very, very easy to do. And you just make a space exploration series on a ship like the Enterprise. You can even call it the Enterprise G if you want. I know there's those talks of Star Trek Legacy and the like. That could be one way to do it. But you could make another ship too. You could call it Intrepid or whatever, and that's it. It would do very, very well. Oh, well. They're not going to do it because they're going to always double down. They really think this youth demographic is what they have to go for and not appealing to actual Star Trek fans. Very, very bizarre. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. And guys, check out the Stars Entwined if you like quality Star Trek, if you like that feel. You are going to love this. Grab it in the description below. Thank you so much, guys. And make sure to sign up for my newsletter so you don't miss my next space exploration series that dovetails right out of this. We are making waves. We're doing things right. Look, you don't need a brand name for this stuff. You just need great storytelling and great science fiction, and that's what we're providing here. Thanks so much. We'll be back.